Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Today, in honor of Mental Health Day, I'm going to be chatting all about mental health. So I'm going to be answering your questions from Instagram. If you ever want to participate in my Q&As, definitely check out my Instagram as well as my Tumblr. I never promote my Tumblr, but I have a Tumblr and I can definitely answer some questions on there. So check that out if you want to. As you guys know, I've been through a lot regarding mental health. I was in a mental hospital. I had, a lot of issues basically. And now because of that, I love to spread the message and talk about it. I think that's really important. But I do want to say that this is only my advice from what I've been through. I'm not a professional. So please take this advice with a grain of salt. Okay, so let's get into the questions. The first one is, what do you think about therapy and how has your experience been? So as a lot of you guys probably know, I am a huge advocate for therapy. I think therapy is one of the best things that you should do if you have mental health issues. I think everyone should go to therapy, even if they don't have like a mental illness. It's so amazing to have someone that you can talk to on a regular basis about your problems and they kind of guide you and give you like professional advice. I think that's so valuable. It just feels so nice to feel like you're not alone in all of it, because I think recovery can feel very much like you're stuck all the time, because it is a very slow process and it's just nice to have someone by your side. So my experience so far has been amazing, and I've definitely had some not so amazing experiences with some therapists. I think that's a very like personal thing. You just need to find someone that you connect with, and not every single therapist's approach is gonna help everyone. So you just need to find someone that you connect with, like any other relationship. So in honor of today's day and you guys asking me so many questions about therapy, recovery, all of that, I actually got in contact with a really cool online counseling service. It's called BetterHelp. They were really kind to sponsor this video, so thank you. But I would talk about them regardless, just because I think it's so important to share services like this. So basically how it works, you get matched with a professional counselor based on your wants, your needs, and then you can basically call them whenever you feel the need to, which I think is awesome, because if you've been to like regular therapy, you know that you need to wait for your appointment, sometimes for like weeks, months, and sometimes you just need someone right away. So it's like calling a friend, but they're like a professional, so they're gonna give you the right help. And it's also great if you've never tried therapy and if you're really scared, because you can do it in the comfort of your own home. Like you can just sit on your bed, drink tea in your pajamas, and I think that would be very comforting for a lot of people. Plus it's very affordable. I think it's as low as like $35 weekly, which if you've seen therapy prices, that is very inexpensive. So if you want to start therapy and if you're scared to do it, or if you just want to do it a different way, I would definitely check it out. I'll link it down below, so if you want to get any more information and look more into it, definitely check that out. But yeah, I'm super like happy that they wanted to work with me. I think services like this are awesome and so worth sharing. I have another question about therapy and then I'll move on to other ones. So this one is, how can I build the courage to start therapy? I really need it, but I'm really afraid of crying in front of the therapist and being vulnerable. Any advice? So again, maybe look into BetterHelp if that would be something that you're comfortable with. But if you want to try regular therapy, I would definitely say, first of all, what I've already mentioned, which is you need to find someone that you connect with, someone that you're comfortable with. And then also you should know that it's totally normal to feel that way. I felt that way. Like I was so scared my first therapy session, and that's completely normal. Like obviously you're doing something for the first time, and being vulnerable and opening up so much to someone is really hard, and it takes a while for a lot of people, and that's totally okay. Like you shouldn't pressure yourself to tell them everything the first session if that's something that you don't feel comfortable with. Just talk about the things that you feel comfortable with. Or maybe what I would probably do if it was my first time and I felt the same way as you, which I definitely would, I would just go in and tell them like, hey, this is my first therapy session. I'm really scared. I've never done anything like this before, and I'm scared of like being vulnerable and crying, and just tell them how you feel. Like that's what they're there for, and if they're a good therapist, they will definitely appreciate you telling them that, and they will help you go through that. So that's my advice. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay, I thought this next question was really interesting. So it's, have you ever struggled to separate your mental illnesses from your personal identity, and what advice do you have for people struggling with that? Definitely. Like, for so long, I thought I was just like a naturally depressed, anxious person, and there was nothing I could do about it. Like, I thought that was just my personality, because that's just what I felt ever since I can remember. And I still struggle with this to this day. Like, the major thing that I struggle with mental health wise right now is I have these really huge ups and downs. Like, I'm lay in bed totally depressed for like 2 weeks, and then the next week I'm on top of the world, the happiest person ever, just awesome. And so I totally feel you. Like, I don't know, is this something that I'm gonna feel for the rest of my life? I don't know. But to answer your question, to give you advice, I think a really good thing that you can do is learn as much as you can about the mental illness, and then maybe write a list. I really like lists. Who would have thought? So maybe write, like, these are the characteristics of your mental illness, and write them down. And then the next list that you make, try to figure out your characteristics that have nothing to do with your mental illness. I think that would be helpful. Maybe I'm definitely gonna do that. I think it sounds pretty good. It's just like gonna help you to feel like, okay, I'm not just my mental illness. Like, I am my own person. I have so many awesome freaking characteristics, and I'm unique and all of that. But then I also have this little or big mental illness that I have to deal with, but it doesn't have to be my whole life, and it doesn't have to be my whole personality. It's just a part of me. And I think separating the two a little bit would be really helpful. Also, therapy, again. I really like this next question. It's, if you could have gone back and not to have mental health issues, would you? Or are you glad you had them because they've made you who you are today? I would not change a thing if I could go back. Definitely not. I am so glad I went through all of that. It completely changed me. My mental health issues, weirdly enough, gave me so much drive to want to have an amazing life and to want to heal myself and get better, just because I was there firsthand. Like, I experienced how shitty life can get and how shitty you can really feel, like that rock bottom where you just feel like your life could end and it wouldn't make any difference. That's how I felt for a while. And you know, I was in those feelings for years, and then that kind of gave me this huge drive and passion to just be like, you know what, I'm done with this crap. I am gonna have an amazing life and take care of myself and figure out what I want to do and how I want to help others because of what I've been through. And that's really something that I figured out. Like, I found my purpose, or whatever you want to call it, through that. And I'm just such a better person because of it. I know myself so much better. Like, I had no idea who I was, and learning about my issues and where they come from, and really accepting what I've been through in my childhood and all that, has like given me so much knowledge about myself and the world and other people and just emotions and all of those things, which I think are really important. So I wouldn't change anything. The next one is, how can you confront or treat a friend with depression? How can you deal with it so it's not too much for oneself? Okay, so I used to be so bad at this. I used to like feel this huge need to help everyone, but it gets so exhausting and you forget about yourself. And having a friend that has a bad mental illness can be very draining, and it can feel a lot. So first of all, it's not your responsibility to heal them. And also, that usually doesn't work anyway. You're not their therapist, and I know sometimes you wish like you could help them and just make it all okay, but that's something that they have to do on their own. And you can just be their support, and you can be a good friend to them. So if they want to talk to you about certain things, be there to listen to them and try to give them the best advice possible. But again, it's not your burden. It's not something that you should carry. Unfortunately, you can't help everyone, and people need to do that on their own, and you can just be a good support. Lately, I don't know who I am. I don't feel, I don't live experience. Also, I can't progress, be better at things. I just don't know what to do with myself. Advice. Okay, so first of all, I just want to tell you, you're definitely not alone in this. I get through those feelings a lot as well, and it's so frustrating when people tell you, just like, watch a funny movie, go outside, and you're gonna feel so much better, and you're just like, if it was that simple, I would have done this like years ago and would be totally fine right now. But like, it doesn't work that way, and I totally get you. I think something that is really helpful for me is just like, maybe give yourself at first like 30 minutes, or not even that if that feels too much, to do something that you love to do. just like maybe draw or paint or write. Just start doing like self-loving things. They can be totally small. They don't have to be like take yourself to Paris or something like that. Like make yourself a cup of tea if that's something that you love to do. I don't know why, but I find those things really, really helpful. And also listen to those emotions. Like listen to what your body is telling you, what your mind is telling you, and try to figure out where they come from. Maybe writing about it would help you, or talking to someone, therapy, anything like that. I think it's really important to figure out where your emotions come from so you can like fix or heal the root of the problem and not deal with, oh, this is what it's on top and I don't get it because I don't know where it comes from. It's just like, it's just here and I don't know what to do with it, and it's too much and it's frustrating. So figuring out the root cause of your emotions is very, very helpful. So again, maybe you can do it on your own if you can, or therapy, or this book. And I know I've talked about this book a billion times, but this book changed my life. It's called Shadows Before Dawn by Teal Swan. And this is basically a guide to self-love. And maybe it sounds a little bit like, okay, cliche, but she has a bunch of really useful tools and exercises that you can do that are all about honoring your feelings and being in tune with how you feel and figuring out where they come from and healing your wounds, all of that. So I think this book is awesome. Maybe even watch some videos about that on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so that's all the questions I'm gonna answer. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful. And if you want me to do more of these types of videos, definitely let me know. And I'm gonna go now. Have a lovely day and I'll see you soon. Bye.